comes for this first fight. Preston Freeman.
From Marine Corps Air Station, New River, Goose and Tudor Promotions, along with the United States Marine Corps boxing team, now presents amateurs to the ring. 3 rounds of action sanctioned by USA Boxing. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the black and white, weighing in at 140 and 3/4 pounds. From Berkeley, Missouri. As an amateur, 100 fights, he brings 70 victories. Introducing Preston Freeman.
And here we have Preston Freeman, 17 years of age. He's 5'5", 143/4. He comes from Berkeley, Missouri. He's going to be wearing black and white trunks. He has 100 amateur fights, 70 wins, 30 losses. That's pretty heavy for an amateur.
Hey, Freeman is the civilian. Freeman is the civilian, and Herring, of course, is the Marine. Herring is 25 years old, and Freeman only 17 years of age. You know, I'd be a little concerned if I was in the corner of Freeman, only 17 years old, giving up 8 years of age against the Marine, who you gotta figure to be a lot more mature.
And now we welcome to the ring the fighter out of the red corner. He wears the red and gold, fighting out of Coram, New York, weighing in at 140 pounds. Out of 55 amateur fights, he brings 41 victories, representing Unit Seaburf, Indian Head, Maryland, United States Marine Corps, Corporal Jamel Herring.
So here we go again. This is Corporal Jamel Herring. 25 years of age. He's going to be facing a very young fighter when he faces Preston Freeman. He hails from Rockville, New York, and he's stationed here in Camp Lejeune. He's 5'10", and he works out on a regular basis on base.
Herring, 25 years of age, as you said, 55 bouts. Look, there's 2 differences here, Claudia. One is that Freeman, only 17 years old, too young to be in there with a Marine. But the difference and the advantage that makes up for that is that Freeman has 100 fights of experience. He's going to need that experience to make up for the difference of maturity against Herring. Herring has 55 amateur fights.
Freeman Herring. And here with the red and gold is Jamel Herring. He's had 2 tours in Iraq, February 2005, March 2007, and like Teddy mentioned, 25 years of age, but he only has 45 wins, 14 losses compared to this young guy, Preston Freeman, young fighters, only 17 years of age. But he has an extensive amateur record with 100 amateur fights.
Well, the first problem for the civilian, Mr. Freeman, in the black and white, Claudia, is that he has to deal with a southpaw. Not only a Marine, that's bad enough. They take hills, so you know that they can handle the squared circle, but he has to deal with a southpaw, and a tall, long southpaw. And a southpaw who right now is jumping on him and not giving him a chance to adjust to that lefty style.
Yeah, those 5 inches of difference in height might mark a big difference, especially when you're only 17. And you might not know how to adjust to that.
No, a big difference, Claudia, as I said on the top. Only 17 years old. Look, It's tough to fight a 25-year-old when you're 17. But now add to the equation that you're also fighting a Marine. A guy who faces things that most of us never face in life. A guy who's disciplined way beyond the normal realm.
Absolutely, especially after 2 tours in Iraq.
Exactly. He knows what it is to stare into the face of danger.
But for 17, he looks pretty cocky.
The right hand is the punch that usually you like to use when you're an orthodox fighter like Freeman is. You want to use the right hand against the lefty. Usually you'll find success, Claudia, with that right hand.
Let's see if those 100 fights are going to give him what it takes to be able to adjust to the southpaw, and right now he's having a hard time.
The one good thing for Freeman is that it doesn't look like the Marine Herring, even though he's a southpaw and he's tall, he doesn't know how to use that height. He doesn't know how to fight tall. You see him on the inside. That's all you need to see. Should not be on the inside when you're that long and tall. You have long arms like Herring does. You want a little space, Claudia, to use those long arms. Inside, you're at a disadvantage, and right now he's at a disadvantage. Freeman not helping himself by putting his hands behind the taller Herring. He should bring those shoulders back and work on the inside.
And maintain the distance.
See, once again, good jab by Herring, but then he falls in, gives up those long arms.
I don't like commitment, that's what it is. No contracts when you sign up for Vonage sounds amazing.
I didn't know that you could have all these features and this incredible plan without a contract. Tell me more, let me switch.
For just $14.99, get unlimited domestic and international calling now without an annual contract.
I have some really good friends who live in Switzerland, and I call them quite a bit now.
It's really nice being able to keep our phone conversations longer.
It's a great feeling.
I switched to Vonage, and I'm never looking back.
He was there when his country needed him, and we'll be there when he needs his country. Join us and send your message of support to our wounded warriors at USO.org. The USO, until everyone comes home.
He's never getting in there.
No way.
Plenty of room. Unreal.
ESPN, your NBA destination for games Wednesdays and Fridays.
And we're back for the second round of action. We have Corporal Jamel Herring in red and gold facing the very young Preston Freeman. Impressive until now. 100 amateur fights. And we'll see if Jamel Herring has what it takes, because even though he's a southpaw, he's getting complicated.
Well, what's happening a little bit, what's complicating things a little bit, Claudia, for Herring is that he's not fighting tall. In spots he does, but then he falls in a little bit, gives up those physical advantages.
And he just connected a jab that rocked Herring.
See, this is what you don't like if you're a trainer, at least from my perspective as a trainer, Claudia. You know, I look at Corporal Herring with that great wingspan, and he falls on the inside where, again, long arms are of no use on the inside because they're too long to use. You need a little room. You have to wonder, though, why Preston, when he's on the inside, does not take that advantage right there and move those shorter arms.
Would that not be part of being an amateur fighter, where they really don't know how to fight in a short distance?
No, they learn how to fight inside and outside. I think part of it is probably the maturity level of Herring. You know, maybe right now, if you're Preston, you're 17 years old, you're a civilian, and you're here in the Marine Corps base, you might be a little bit intimidated.
Yeah, when you have the whole Marine Corps right here rooting for their rival.
I mean, he wouldn't be normal if he didn't feel the pressure of where he is. See, there's the disadvantage of being tall and long. You just saw Corporal Herring in the red stood straight up. When you stand straight up and close with a shorter man, there's a lot of target. And Freeman found that target with the right hand.
Yeah, and Herring didn't take advantage of the fact that he had Preston in the ropes.
Well, I don't think that he should have him on the ropes, and that's a good point you bring up there, Claudia. I don't think that Herring should be pressing Freeman into the ropes. He should be staying on the outside like he's doing right now and owning the center of the ring. You don't want to press him into the ropes. You press him, you give up your height. If there's any pressing to be done, well, I think the pressing should be done by the shorter arm man, Freeman.
Well, Herring is finally being a little bit more assertive in his punching power.
No, even though I don't want to see the man in red, Corporal Herring, on the inside, he should be on the outside where he could use that long jab, shoot that left hand, the power punch for the southpaw where he can turn into it. But if you're going to be inside, it's not the worst thing to tie up every once in a while and not let the shorter arm man get an advantage. But right now, Herring's acting like a Marine. Even though he's long, he's tall, he's fighting a little bit on the insides.
So he's adjusting properly.
You all right?
Those that saw him play know what they saw was greatness.
When Marcus left Oklahoma, he just vanished.
What if I told you he could outrun everything except the expectations? The best that never was. Tuesday at 8, part of ESPN Films 30 for 30.
These are men who honor the impossible road to victory. And this is indeed the road they will take. Because it's racing.
The Cobalt Tools 500 at Phoenix, Sunday at 3 Eastern on ESPN.
What?
Thicker looking hair in 1 week with Head & Shoulders Hair Endurance Shampoo.
Well, if you're a backer of Herring in the red, you don't really want to see this. You don't want to see the longer arm man on the inside. But if he is on the inside, well, he might as well tie up a little bit and not allow Freeman to use those short punches.
And here we start the third and last round of this bout.
You know, Claudia, that old saying, and you see it on the commercials all the time, it doesn't get any better than this.
No, it doesn't.
That's what you're talking about when you're talking about sports. In this case, you're talking about boxing. Being with all these Marines, all these special people, these special warriors, and being able to salute them and hear their passion for their fellow Marines.
Why don't we take a look at Teddy's scorecard right now? So you have Corporal Herring dominating the fight.
Well, I'm not stupid. I know where I am. And I don't want to get a bunch of Marines
exactly
that have quick access to some powerful guns.
You're putting your life at risk at this time, huh, Teddy?
Neither one of these fighters using their jab quite enough tonight. The one that you would expect the jab from, obviously the most, is the man in red and gold, Corporal Herring.
Because of his height, he should maintain that distance as well.
Yeah, and when he jabs, it's not just enough to throw the punch. He gets off balance, he falls in a little bit right there. And that's a good example of Herring not knowing how to use his height. He fell in there, didn't keep his feet set, and he got out of position, which should not happen when you're the taller man. You should anchor those feet at a certain distance and control that distance. But what I was saying is, Claudia, it's not enough just to throw the jab. You got to throw it at the right time and the right distance. And for Herring, that means on the outside before Freeman gets in close. And right now, he's not using that jab at the right time, and he's allowing Freeman to have a decent round.
But I still don't think Freeman has the maturity to be able to handle the size or the height of Herring.
Well, you know, you ask, like we said earlier, you ask a 17-year-old kid to give up 8 years and to go into a hornet's nest called the Marine base, that's a lot to ask. Well, Freeman can't complain about one thing. You know, maybe he complained that he saw a lot of camouflage uniforms that weren't cheering for him. But he can't complain that he couldn't get inside with the taller man. He's been inside quite a bit tonight. The problem is Freeman has not done enough when he's been there. Sometimes Freeman, Claudia, gets inside because he works his way inside. Sometimes he gets inside because of that. Because Herring falls in. Does a little of his work for him.
That's the interesting part. Basically, Herring is fighting Preston's fight rather than being the other way around.
In spots he is, but he's still getting the better of it. The old-fashioned way, the Marine way. He's moving his hands just a little bit more.
And this is the end of this round. We'll be right back with the final decision.
Big Ten Icons is counting down the greatest athletes in conference history, and you can win a Philips HD TV by watching, or a chance at $10,000. Go to Big10Icons.com or text ICONS to 20284 to get your Talk of the Locker Room combination code. Then watch Big Ten Icons on the Big Ten Network Tuesday nights this fall to see if your code is a winner. Visit Big10Icons.com daily for new codes, and don't miss Big Ten Icons Tuesdays at 9 Eastern for your chance to win.
This is a public announcement. CNNMoney.com reports that in some areas of the country, buyers are scooping up homes for as little as $1,000. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Government and private banks are liquidating these homes now. If you currently rent a house or apartment, you may call now and learn how to receive your free list of these homes. All others may call tomorrow. Every house must be sold. This is a public announcement.
Call 1-800-292-9775. That's 1-800-292-9775. Call now.
There's some happy Marines right there. They're happy because they think that Herring just pulled off the first win of the night, and I would have to agree with them. Let's watch a little overview of the last 3 rounds. You see the man in the red, Herring, getting in, getting out, the quicker hands, throws the left hand, the power punch for a southpaw, gives up his height in spots, but for the most part, he was able to stay long and be able to cruise a little bit with that length and get that hand raised.
Referee, 30-year retired USMC William Lightsey. Inside the ring we go, the distance. The winner by decision, fighting out of the red corner, Corporal Jamel Herring.
And so there you have it. Corporal Jamel Herring took this fight despite not being able to handle, let's say, his height or take advantage of his reach.
Well, he did enough. I mean, he fought on the outside a little bit. He got on the inside. Maybe that's not where you want him because he's tall and he's long. But guess what? He threw more punches. And when you throw more punches, you usually win, whether you're a Marine or not.
And he took it. We'll be right back.
Hearts. They get all the love.